The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
I look like these. 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 I also look like that. 19-year-old Miya Marcano had a lot to look forward to in life. She was very focused on her goals and was determined to accomplish a lot in this lifetime. She graduated from Flanagan High School in June of 2020, and on the day of her graduation, she posted to her Facebook page, "I am officially a Flanagan High School graduate. These past 4 years have been very challenging for me, especially having to graduate during a pandemic, but I never gave up. I kept going. I want to take a moment to thank my family and friends for being there for me every step of the way. I am beyond ready for this chapter in my life." So as you can see that Miya was very determined. After graduating, soon after, she started a job at Arden Villa's apartments where she also lived at. She also enrolled in Valencia College and was a sophomore at the time of her disappearance. She also posted that maintaining a 4.3 GPA and being dually enrolled wasn't easy, but she was going to finish strong. So these things let you know that Miya was focused on her goals and accomplishing the things that she wanted to accomplish out of life. And I think that's very commendable for her age at only 19 years old. Because she was dually enrolled in high school, she was already a sophomore. So she was tackling the world at 19 years old. She was gorgeous, successful, already working. She had a Caribbean background, so she really enjoyed going to Carnival. She was very close with her family, very family orientated. And the reason why I'm showing these Facebook posts, because I wanted you to see the determination this young lady had. She said, "No matter how long it takes, I'll get to where I want to be." So as you can see, Miya was just working, living her life, and accomplishing her goals. On September the 24th, her father reported that he did not hear from her after she clocked out from work. She was scheduled to fly home to visit her family after work, but they discovered that she never boarded the plane. So the family reported her missing. So once Miya was determined to be missing, the missing person flyers went out. Miya Marcano is a missing person who was last seen at work in Orlando, Florida on September the 24th of 2021. The Orange County Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies are conducting a search for the 19-year-old woman. Marcano is a college student, according to NBC News. Her family spoke with the news station asking the public for help in bringing her home. And so this image that you see on the screen is the last known image of Miya Marcano. This is an image of her outside of her apartment homes walking with a pink blanket, a black bag, and some gloves. Remember these items as we go further into the story. So the next day, on September the 25th, they found a suspect. 27-year-old Armando Cabero was a maintenance worker who worked in the same apartment complex that Miya lived in. He also was a person of interest, I'm thinking, because he continued to make harassing statements to Miya, trying to date her, get involved with her, and she would continue to turn him down. Not only did he make these statements to her, but several women in the same apartment complex had reported that same behavior. He even had an incident where one woman turned him down and he threw a weight through her window. So this guy really should have been let go by the apartment complex, in my opinion. So on the night after he was questioned regarding Miya's death, Mr. Cabrera showed up in the area where the family was looking for Miya and basically began to ask them questions as far as were they looking for her, and telling them they heard they were looking for him as well. So in that conversation, the family basically told him that they knew about how obsessed he was with her. They knew about him making those statements to her every day, being obsessed, sending her text messages. And of course, he denied all the information. What's interesting is 2 days later, on the 27th, Mr. Cabrera was found dead by apparent suicide.
This is new video of a man Miya Marcano's family believes is her maintenance man, carrying her stuff away the day after she went missing and 2 days before he turned up dead. This crucial evidence could directly connect him to her disappearance.
Mia's family not giving up hope that she is still out there. Today, they gathered outside of her apartment complex along University Boulevard in Orange County to search for clues. Fox 35's Dave Puglisi joins us live. So, Dave, this new video we just saw could be a big clue that they've been looking for.
It definitely could be. And maybe more clues here inside Arden Villas, which has been the scene of the longest search here throughout the day by law enforcement. And that is still going on right now. The family still hopeful that they'll find her following every potential lead.
In his front, the passenger side.
New video shows a man who appears to match a description of Armando Caballero getting out of a car that matches the description from police of Armando's.
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
The man is seen carrying a blanket and a bag heading into a building. The blanket, families say, is Mia's.
Think of yourself if you were in our shoes. If you saw that video and you saw Mia's blanket, how would you react?
Mia's family says this video was shot the same morning Simone had a chilling encounter with Caballero.
He said, "Are you looking for Mia?" I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me."
The search for the 19-year-old is intensifying as large numbers of investigators arrive at Arden Villas. Residents even received this email about a search of their garages and storage units. One resident tells Fox 35 she had to move her car this morning to accommodate.
It's been hectic. It's been scary. Everything that we've been seeing here just shows that we're not truly safe here.
Mia's family says they've been receiving numerous tips from the community and law enforcement. They have searched several locations, including wooded and swampy areas, and they're not giving up.
Today's that day where we got up upset. There hasn't been much crying at this point. We're just ready to bring her home, but we need everyone's help.
And you can be a part of that help. The family has started an Instagram page to keep you updated on the latest updates and investigations and searches done by them. And you can find that on Instagram at Bring Mia Home. And again, any information that you have that could lead to finding Mia is more important than ever before. You should be giving that to police as soon as you possibly can. In Orlando, Dave Puglisi, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Dave. And Mia's family also tells us that they think that she was kidnapped and more people are involved. But investigators say they don't think that is the case.
As her family searches that apartment complex for answers, people who live there are concerned, some going as far as blaming the complex for Mia's disappearance. Fox 35's Holly Bristow reached out to the property manager. So, Holly, did they get back to you?
Well, Luann, what we have right now is a statement that Arden Villas released to us yesterday saying that they were improving some of their security procedures.
I'm praying that she's coming home. I have a hope that she's still out there.
Mia Ross, a neighbor of Miya Marcano, gets emotional talking about the missing 19-year-old. She's spooked, not knowing what happened. So is Hannah Holmes.
It makes me feel unsafe as a resident.
This big green poster reads, Arden Villas, it's your responsibility to keep your residents and staff safe. We hold you accountable. Now sits in the middle of candles left for Miya Marcano. Copies of this flyer blaming the company that owns the complex is being posted all around the community, too. Just yesterday, Arden Villas Apartments manager sent out a memo talking about proactive measures to enhance their safety protocols, saying they've repositioned a guard to the front gate to document all residents and guests leaving the property. These women saying they haven't seen that yet.
I think that the gate stays open for about 5 cars to go through, so even sometimes it doesn't even make sense for me to scan my key fob.
Fox 35 News did not see a guard at the gate today, but there was a guard present during our live shots last night. Deputies said the person of interest in Mia's disappearance, maintenance man Armando Caballero, had used a key fob to enter Mia's apartment Friday, 30 minutes before she got home from work. Arden Villas says they've upgraded their maintenance procedures to allow for appointment-only booking.
It's definitely something that should have been done way beforehand.
Hannah Holmes says she's had some unexpected encounters with maintenance.
But most of the time I've had them knock like once and then just let themselves in.
The next video that you're going to see is going to show Mr. Caballero, I cannot pronounce his name correctly, being confronted by the family as he's talking with the police officers.
whole thing.
But no one knows Tati.
You
keep mentioning Tati, and no one knows Tati.
And you get a call
the
all of a
roommates
sudden.
Don't even know Tati.
You've been sleeping since 10
keep
o'clock,
saying
and all of a
Tati is
sudden
a
you're showing
friend.
up here at 4 o'clock in the morning looking for me.
Tati were conversating about it, so I finally, it came
okay,
up.
But
Should
Tati
I go and
is
see
someone,
if I see anything?
No one knows Tati. That's my whole thing. Not
Tati
even the roommate knows Tati.
Here.
She's an employee, but you keep saying Tati is a friend and that you've all hung out together. No one here knows Tati. All her other friends showed up. Her closest friends that live in the complex were all here with us early on. No one knows Tati. Only you. Whoever Tati is, and Tati's on the phone, she shouldn't even be on the phone right now. As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Miya. We have all seen the text. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash apped her money, and you claimed that you weren't in touch.
Who told her
it's
gave her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a matter of fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
What you have to do?
There's evidence of obsession, of something. You're fascinated with me.
It's not only from my side, so don't try to make this.
No one's saying that. It takes.
She's not here to defend herself right now, so
obviously
she's missing.
You. So we're talking to you, who've been going back and forth on text.
That is your family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody's beating you up.
If I'm guilty,
why would I come put yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
Because we're concerned.
You're concerned. Why weren't you concerned hours ago?
I just found out.
All right, cool, no problem.
So in the first few hours,
how did Tati find out?
We didn't think it was serious. I don't even know how Tati found out.
Somebody's missing and you don't think it's serious.
Maybe they hanging out. They got this place right here. They go downtown. I don't know. Maybe her phone's off. I don't know what she did.
She would use somebody's phone and call her dad or her grandmother, somebody.
She was supposed to show up for a flight and didn't show up.
Officer, can I ask you a question?
So that video was 2 days after Miya had disappeared. Mr. Caballero showed up at the location that he knew the family was at looking for Miya. Why would he show up there? So when he shows up there, he speaks with the police and acts as if he's concerned. He also acts as if he has a person on the phone named Tati, as you can hear them saying in the video, who is also concerned. But as the family stated, Miya doesn't know a Tati. Tati is not one of her family friends. So basically, I feel like this was Mr. Caballero's way of trying to find out how much information that they had. When they started accusing him of the obscene text messages and him promising to give her his life savings, he knew it was only a matter of time before he got caught. So 2 days after this video, this is when he was found dead. So the search for Miya continued on. The FBI got involved. This was an extensive search. Unfortunately, on October the 2nd, they found her body.
And Fox 35 starts with breaking news. The search for Miya comes to a tragic end. Deputies say that they have found a body they believe to be that of 19-year-old Miya Marcano. Good evening. I'm David Bowden.
And I'm Christy Kern. The body believed to be hers was found this morning at the Timber Scan Apartments in Orange County. Fox 35 is bringing you team coverage tonight. We begin with Dave Puglisi. He has been covering the story from the very beginning. Dave, what have you heard from the family today?
Well, Christy, I've reached out to a number of family members, and as you can imagine, they're absolutely devastated. Even as this search began to reach a week, they always believed that they would find Miya alive. Unfortunately, her body found here at the Timber Scan Apartments earlier this morning. Now, Orange County deputies began their search sometime this morning, not long after they found what they believe to be the body of Miya Marcano, a purse carrying her identification found near the body. Deputies say their suspect, Armando Caballero, lived in the Timber Scan Apartments at one time. They said his phone pinged here the night Miya went missing. They believe he was here in the area for about 20 minutes. Miya's family received the news around noon.
It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. This is our baby. She's funny. She's goofy. She's silly. She's very, very family-oriented. She loves her family, and her family loves her back.
Now, Miya's family has held a vigil every single night while she's been gone, and they will be holding another one tonight. In Orlando, Dave Puglisi, Fox 35 News.
Well, Dave, thank you. Our team coverage continues right now in Orlando.
Fox 35's Matt Trezza was at the sheriff's office this afternoon when Sheriff Johnny Mina made that tragic announcement.
While delivering the tragic news about finding a body likely to be Miya Marcano's, Sheriff John Mina gave more details about how they got to this point.
So why were we at Timberscan Apartments?
Mina says they were electronically tracing the movements of Armando Caballero, their prime suspect.
Cell phone records showed us that Caballero was in or near the Timberscan Apartments on Friday evening between 8 and 9 o'clock. That's the evening that she was reported missing.
He says they'd combed through months of Caballero's electronic records to follow his steps.
He had been in downtown Orlando. He had been in the Paramore area. Obviously, he'd been in both Orange County near the apartment complex, at the other apartment complex in Seminole County, and of course, Volusia County. And
Mina says Caballero had a connection to the apartment complex.
He had lived in Timberscan Apartments at one time.
He says search teams located the body and more evidence.
They were walking and found what we believe to be her body. A purse with Mia's identification was found near the body as well.
Sheriff Mina said this isn't the end of their investigation, though. The next steps are to conduct an autopsy on the body they found and come up with a definitive timeline of the events leading up to Mia's death. In Orlando, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
All right, thank you to Matt. And it looks like there have been a lot has been uncovered in the extensive search to find Miya. Let's take a look now at the timeline of events from this past week.
The search for Miya comes to a tragic end. It all started 1 week ago. At 4:30 p.m. last Friday, at the Arden Villas apartments where Miya lived and worked, deputies believe Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the complex, used a master key fob to enter her apartment. Later that night, Miya missed her flight home to Fort Lauderdale, and with no contact from her, family drove up to see what was wrong. On Saturday, Mia's aunt had a brief yet disturbing interaction with Caballero, who at the time wasn't a known suspect.
He said, "Are you looking for Miya?" I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me."
That same morning, this video surfaced of a man who matched Caballero's description getting out of a car identified by deputies as Caballero's vehicle. Families say that blanket in his hand is Mia's. Sunday was the first of many vigils held for Miya, and on Monday, a big development with Caballero.
We found a suicide on property. Someone hung themselves from a garage.
Deputies rushed to the Sable Club apartments for an apparent suicide, only to find his body. By Wednesday, the search for Miya intensified, with investigators and family members at Arden Villas, Blanchard Park, and Lake Monroe. On Thursday, the search expanded to New Smyrna Beach after family told us a cell phone belonging to Caballero pinged in that area. That brings us to a sad end, when deputies finally found the body in the Timberscan Apartments area in Orlando.
Well, Fox 35 uncovered more details that could be related to the case. Another woman claims she may have had an incident with the same man who is now considered the prime suspect in Mia's disappearance. We have new body camera video from that incident, which happened in March.
There's a weight that was thrown into the window. She doesn't know who.
Well, the woman says a maintenance worker named Armando threw a dumbbell through her window. Police believe it was Armando Caballero, the same man police just named as the prime suspect in Mia's disappearance. Police say both women rejected his romantic advances.
This case fills me with so much rage. Like, how dare you? How dare you, being 28 years old, take away this 19-year-old girl's life because she does not want to be involved with you? How dare you? Gone are the times where you can politely decline someone and say, "I'm not interested." Even if you don't politely decline, you have no right. You have no right to take this young girl's life just because she did not want to be involved with you. Go find somebody your own age, or go find somebody who's interested in you. Allegedly, there's supposed to be 20, 30 women to every man? So why does it seem like these men are so desperate every time somebody turns them down, or every time a relationship don't work out? It's like, even in his case, he's 28 years old. He's still young. You can still go find somebody. You can still live your life. How dare you take this young girl's life? Miya was determined. She was focused. She was trying to improve her life. She was doing right by her family. She was going to school. She was working. She was doing everything that we would want a teenager to do. And how dare you? And then to take his life, that tells me that he had nothing to live for. So why take someone with you? Why not just go? I don't advocate for suicide, but why kill somebody and then, kill yourself? If you're that miserable, just take your own life. This was really, really sad. It was really, really sad, and it's really discouraging because this little girl, this young lady, sorry, she didn't do anything wrong. As of today, it's been 1,000 Black women murdered this year. There's only 365 days in the year. So this is our average of every 6 hours or better. These men are not taking no for an answer. They're not respecting Black women. They don't care. They don't care about their life. They definitely don't care about your life. They don't care about kids' life. Ladies, you have to protect yourself. You have to watch your back. It's funny because before this case, I never thought about the fact that maintenance workers, when I did live in apartments, they did always have access to your apartment. So really, we were just waiting. We would just pray, basically, until a maintenance worker got that idea that he didn't have anything to live for and decided to do something like this, to one of the residents. I've never heard of anything like this happening. And so it just lets you know, this case lets you know how, we are just prey, just anything can happen. You don't know what's on people's minds. I mean, he waited in her apartment 30 minutes before she got off. And to me, he was so stupid that everything he did was pretty obvious. I mean, you're walking, carrying the same items that she had, like out in the open, like not covered up in a bag or anything. It's almost like he wanted to get caught. It's just a very sad case. I did read that they were trying to pass something called Marcano's Law based on Miya Marcano's situation, which would not allow maintenance workers to have access to people's apartments as they have. So, I mean, I think that's a great idea. However, I think it's the mentality. If they don't find a way by getting into the apartment complex, they're going to find any other kind of way because it's just the world that we're living in now. We're living in a very evil world. These people are evil. They have nothing to live for. They do not care. They do not respect people's boundaries. They do not respect a woman's right to make her own decisions. That's what it's coming down to. They don't respect your right to make your own decisions. You decide to leave your man, he's killing you. You decide that you don't want to be involved with a man, he's killing you. Do they feel like women don't have the right to make decisions? It's not our right to decide who we want to be with. It's not our right to decide if we want to end the relationship. This is every 6 hours, you guys. As I stated in my last video, I know my page is still called every 8 hours because that's what it was when this started. I'm not going to change that. However, I want to make sure that everyone is aware that every 6 hours, a Black woman, baby, or child is being murdered. In this case, it wasn't by someone that she loved, but it was by a man who took her life selfishly for no reason at all. For no reason. He could have easily went and found someone else. I pray that you guys are keeping yourself protected. I don't want to be doing a story on one of you guys. I do not. I do not. These cases are heavy. They're very overwhelming. They're very overwhelming, and mentally, they can really exhaust you. I feel sorry for this little girl. I see so much potential in her. When I went back to do my research, looking at how she was just focused. She wanted to finish college. She wanted to accomplish her goals. She wanted to get herself in a better position. She wasn't out here doing drugs. She wasn't out here having a bunch of babies. She wasn't doing anything but living her life and doing what we expect from her. And hell, even if she was out doing those things, she still don't deserve this to happen to her. Nobody deserves this to happen to her. But she was a prime example as how you can do all the right things and still have the bad things happen to you. Ladies, protect yourselves, watch your surroundings, pay attention to these weirdos out here, evaluate everyone that's in your life and make sure they have a right and a reason to be in your life. For someone to be in your life is a blessing. You are a blessing to that person, okay? So make sure that they deserve to be in your life. Do not settle. Do not settle. Loneliness is not the end of the world. Do not settle. Make sure you're paying attention to their mannerisms, how they treat you, how they treat your children. Look for all the clues, anything that you could find, because we really have to protect ourselves out here, and we are really prey out here. We're just pretty much waiting. As I stated in my other videos, exercise your Second Amendment rights. You never expect anyone to be waiting in your apartment when you come home. That situation could not have been prevented. Most of these situations cannot be prevented, but we will improve our chances if we have a weapon. Oh, that case was so heavy. I pray that Miya Marcano's family find peace. May Mia rest in peace. You guys protect yourselves. As I stated, I do not want to be doing a story on you. Stay safe out here. I'll talk to you guys later.